A girl and her mom, Noah and Rafaela, were forced to leave the only place they've called home to a new destination. They've been all they had until Rafaela fell in love with a wealthy man named William Lester. Noah hated this move, leaving her boyfriend and best friend behind. Arriving at the Lester mansion, Noah was disrespectful to the family, making her resentment clear. But William was accommodating, knowing how divorces affect families, having had one himself. All Noah knew about Nick, William's son, was that he was the perfect son any parent could ask for. While exploring the beauty of her new home, she stumbled upon Nick, and Nick already knew who she was, the daughter of his father's new wife. But Noah acted cold and dismissive. He drew close as they gazed into each other's eyes, with a message so clear but words unspoken, until their parents walked in. Noah pulled back, as pompous as ever, retreating to her room. But on the inside, she could not be more ecstatic, her pulse racing because Nick seemed like trouble. William wanted to bring the family together and made a dinner reservation, but things turned sour when all Noah and Nick did all night was fight. Nick had to leave since he was an aspiring lawyer and had a case to work on, but Noah wanted to leave too, since she never wanted to be there in the first place. William insisted that Nick take Noah home, and they both resisted, but they eventually gave in since they had caused trouble all night. The tension continued in the car as Noah could not keep her mouth shut, and Nick seemed aloof until Noah mentioned his mom. He stopped the car and kicked her out, leaving her in the middle of nowhere. But lucky for her, she was about to meet her Prince Charming, Mario. Mario learned soon enough that she was related to Nick and took her to the party where Nick was present. Noah saw how Nick has been lying to everyone around him, especially his father. He was as flawed as anyone else. She blindsided Nick, punching him in the face for being a jerk, and he used all that pent-up energy to push her towards his car. He wanted her to leave, but Noah stayed, exploring the party. She was dragged by a party pooper who wanted to take advantage of her, but Nick came to save her dumb soul sister. He took her home and put her to sleep. The next day, they were having fun at the beach as Nick had his girl fan club, as always. His groupie was excited for the race, but since racing was illegal, Nick ignored that conversation because the last thing he wanted was another secret Noah could stab him with. But Noah found out anyway and came to the racing event. Nick was ready to race, just like any other day, but this time it was different. Noah was around and he could barely focus. He had a late start to the race, but that's what every girl wants. Everyone was having fun, except Noah, who just found out her boyfriend and best friend were making out back home. She could not be more pissed, but she realized she was in the midst of handsome men and took advantage of that opportunity, making out with the next best thing she saw. All she wanted was a picture to make her boyfriend jealous that she was happy without it. She ended up kissing this man on the hood of Nick's car, and Nick messed up her revenge talk. Nick saw the pictures of his boyfriend and realized why she's been acting wild all night. Nick asked, and it was obvious he wanted to give her the kiss, so she went home, and she cravenly said yes. Nick made sure she had the time of her life as his lips caressed hers in a manner she had never experienced before. She left Noah in his car as she was going to find Noah's girlfriend, Jenna, to take her home. Ronnie, who was a racer and has been beaten by Nick over the years, saw an opportunity and took it. He thought for the first time he could beat Nick since Noah was the one in the car, but he never knew that Noah was a racer herself. Noah beat him in the race, making him disgruntled. His anger led to a brawl, and they had to run away. It was in that moment Noah realized Nick had the same tattoo as her, and they were more connected than they realized. But Ronnie could not let go. He wanted revenge. He sent a warning through Nick by giving him a beat down, and kept sending threatening messages to Noah. One morning, William walked into Nick's room and saw Noah in his bed. He was perplexed and barely said a word. Nick tried to explain, but he did not want to hear it. It turns out Nick's sister was sick. Well, the sister he wasn't sleeping with, and he had to go to the hospital. He went with Noah, and on their way back, they could not help but suck each other's lips again. They consummated the night since their parents already knew about their relationship and wanted to get some action before going back home in the morning. But another action happened, one they never saw coming. Nick came out from the store and Noah was gone. From the police investigation, they saw on the CCTV that Ronnie took her. Noah was rambling as always in a dark room. She screamed at Ronnie for going too far because of a race, but a man appeared from the dark and it wasn't Ronnie. It was his father, who had been using Ronnie as a puppet. It's always been him, doing everything behind the scenes. He wanted to pay back Noah and Rafaela for testifying against him in his court proceedings, which landed him in jail. To release Noah, he asked William for a ransom, and he was more than happy to pay. Nick wanted to help since he was feeling guilty. He realized that Ronnie had his car, which had a tracking device. Nick and the police tracked the car down, and the chase turned into Forza Horizon. Nick chased after her with the police, and Noah had nowhere else to go than the port of the beach. With Noah stranded and nowhere else to go, his father was about to pull the trigger, but Noah and Nick locked eyes once again. Remembering a car experiment they watched together, they drove towards each other as they planned on tricking Noah's father. He never saw the police as they both swerved in the car, giving the police a clean shot to take him down. He died, and the family came together, stronger than ever. And that was Rafaela's problem. She felt the family had gotten too close. Nick was in Noah's bed, and this brotherly love was becoming too much. But nothing was going to stop their love, they said.
You can't stop our love!
Moral of the story, I think it's all about the money.